Hey, what's up everybody? It's Amaya. So today's video is going to be just like a chit chat, get ready with me kind of life update sort of thing. I figured let's just sit down and kind of talk. You can get ready with me. And I'm going to be trying out some Juvia's Place palettes, which I have only ever used these guys once. So it's kind of like a first impressions, second impressions type of thing. So that'll be fun. And yeah, just figured it'd be nice to kind of just sit down and talk and all that sorts of good stuff. So yes, but before we get into that, be sure to check out my social medias. My Instagram and Twitter are right over here. All my others will be in the description box below, so check them out if you wanna. If not, no hard feelings. We're letting go of hard feelings in 2019. But if you want to, check them out for sure. And yeah, let's hop right in. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is my hair. You may have noticed this in my last video. I totally forgot to mention it. So I got my hair done and I got highlights put in and then a red sort of coloring put in, and you kind of can't see it very well in this light. But if you look back at pictures of my hair from like the summer or early fall, put a picture right here, and then you look at my hair now, I'll insert a picture right here from the day I got it done, which was like a week ago. You can see the difference and how much more red it is now. We're liking it. I just wanted to mention it. Let me know what you guys think. I really like it. I like the red. I think it's cute. I think it's cute. Okay, so we're just gonna get started with these eyes right here. I'm just going to prime with the Thank Me Later primer from Elizabeth Mott. And as I go through, I'm probably not going to be able to mention every single product that I used. I'll do my best to at least show it if I can't really say what it is if I'm in the middle of talking. Okay, so, wow. What should we start with first? I've been wanting to do like a life update type of to check it ready with me or something like that. But I just didn't feel like inspired to share it, and I just didn't feel like it was the right time yet. I didn't feel like everything was completed and figured out and everything like that. 2018, like I mentioned in my yearly favorites, was a crazy year. It was filled with extremely good moments and then extremely bad moments. Like it was either one or the other. I finished my first part-time year of college. I graduated high school. We went to Africa. Like there was just so many changes. And like I said, a lot of good and a lot of bad. Like I was either like going to Africa and having like the best experience of my entire life, or losing a bunch of friends and going through a depression. Like it was either like really, really good or really, really bad. And I just kind of felt like it was a year of change. I don't know, like I feel really good coming out of it, and I feel like I know myself better than I have in a very long time, which that makes me happy. So I'm going to be going in with the Warrior 2 palette by Juvia's, and it's an all matte palette. This is what it looks like. I think it's super, super cute. Love the packaging and I love the colors. So anyways, speaking on 2018, because 2018 was so crazy, I'm kind of wanting 2019 to be a very, I don't want to say a good year, because I wouldn't necessarily say 2018 was bad, but I just want it to be consistent. I want it to be very much about taking this confidence that I found in myself and like this sense of self that I found in 2018, kind of like continuing it on throughout the rest of the year and taking that with me and just creating some really awesome memories, getting back to hanging with my family a lot, getting back to hanging with my friends a lot. I mean, just things that I feel like I didn't have time for last year because we were so crazy busy. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a combination of Kana right here and Dura right there. So in addition to having really good hopes for the new year, I am also going to be starting my second full-time semester of college. So for those of you that don't know, I am homeschooled. So my senior year of high school, I took classes at a community college, but I was only a part-time student. During the fall semester, I took 2 classes, and then during the spring semester, I only took 1. So there would literally be days that I would be doing school from 7 o'clock in the morning till like 4 in the afternoon. I don't know, it was just kind of crazy. It was something I'd never really experienced before, but honestly, I'm really glad that I did it. So anyways, this year, going into my second full-time semester, my first full-time semester was definitely a learning curve. I thought that I would have a pretty good idea of what it was going to be like, considering that I already had college experience from last year. Real quick before I continue, going in with this shade from the Saharan palette by Juvia's. That's what it looks like, super cute. Going with this brown shade, it's called Katsina. It was hard for me to be away from my family. I'm used to being home with them at least for several hours during the day. Being homeschooled, you're home a lot. And I really like that. It was never an issue for me. Sometimes my classes in the morning would be at 9:30, so I'd leave my house at 8 in order to get there early. And I wouldn't come home until like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and that was incredibly hard for me. I was doing that 2 days a week, and the other days I would get to spend time with them in the morning, but I'd have to go in the afternoon. And it was really difficult. I just really enjoy being around my family, and I think it kind of threw me for a curve and made school seem a lot more difficult and a lot harder. I'm going back to the Warrior 2 palette, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of Yodit and Jamada. I know I'm probably butchering these names, but they're really pretty. So it's like a red and then a brown and a Morphe M433. So last school year, when I was doing part-time, I had a lot more friends because, I don't know, I just feel like I go through spells where I have a lot of friends and then spells where I don't have as many. And I was kind of going through a spell where I had a pretty decent amount of friends, and going into my part-time semester, I wasn't there all the time, so I was much more like outgoing. It was more exciting, and I made a few friends and I didn't feel as lonely. But this time, going into the school year, I was kind of having some issues with friends. Like I said, during 2018, I lost a lot of friends. I gained some new ones. But for the most part, there was a lot of like turnover, finding out who was really my real friends and learning to keep my circle small. At least until like, I would say November, like October, November time, I ate lunch in my car every single day that I was there for lunch. Like, it was just, I didn't want to be around everybody there. I didn't want to have to deal with any BS. I don't know, like, it was just very uncomfortable for me to have to be around people all day. I am someone who needs some alone time, which is why I sit here and talk to a camera because it feels social, yet I'm not actually being social. It didn't necessarily affect my schooling, but it definitely affected my personality. I was asked at the end of my spring semester last year to work as a writing tutor. So I was going to be taking a writing tutor course for this fall semester that just passed. I'm going to go in with this dark brown right here. It's called Kufuru. I'm so glad that I took that course because I got to meet two of the sweetest girls in the entire world. First of all, it's with my favorite professor of all time. I had her for my English last spring, which is how I got to meet her and how she invited me into the writing tutor course that she teaches. But I got to be with these two amazing girls. I don't even want to call them girls. I want to call them women because they're just incredible. So they were such a lifesaver to me, and they probably don't know it because I never really expressed it much, but the days that I got to be with them in class honestly made my entire week so much better because I felt like I was very alone there. I would see people walking around school and everyone would be in like groups. It reminded me very much of like high school. Oh, what is this hair? And I was just kind of making my way through class, get from one place to the next, just get where I had to go and then go home. And so I didn't really take a lot of time to like socialize because I didn't want to. Going with a little bit of the shade right here because it looks cool. These two girls that were in my tutoring class, I was able to share something that I love so much, which is writing, with two people that loved it equally as much. And I described it to my boyfriend as being in a class with two of myself. I never really got to thank them, so this is like my way of thanking them. They don't watch my channel. I don't even know if they know that I have a channel, but this is my way of thanking them because they're awesome. I'm gonna go in with Walzana and Shawta. I don't know how to say it. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. So honestly, overall, college experience, I like being in class. I like learning. I like doing things like that. However, I don't like the social part of it as much. It's not for me. It's not my thing. I don't go to parties. I don't talk with people. Towards the end of the semester, I made a few friends, and I mean, it was really fun. I talk to them and I see them. When I go back, I'll probably see them sometimes, but I don't know. It's just not really for me. So if you're feeling like you're a similar personality, how you like being at home, you have friends, but you prefer to keep your circle small, going to college might be a little bit of a curve, but trust me, find something that you love and really invest yourself in that whenever you can outside of school. and it will really, really help. I mean, I had to put off YouTube, but I think if I had time to kind of do YouTube more, I think that would have really, really helped. Okay, I'm going to go in and use Zoya and a little bit of Lulu. They're these two shimmers right here. They're kind of like rose goldish shades. I'm going to use that for my lid. You guys, I really lost YouTube this entire fall into winter. I didn't even watch YouTube. Like, one, I didn't have time, and two, it made me really sad to go back and look at videos or just watch videos in general because I wasn't able to be creating or really watching them. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this shade. This is from the Nubian. This is the mini Nubian palette by Juvia. So they have a big one, but they also have this mini one that I got in an Allure box. And it doesn't have a name on it, but it's just kind of like a light, like pinky shade. And I just feel like I wanna brighten up this lid a little bit. Ooh! That is pretty. That's really pretty. I honestly, these Juvia's Place palettes are so nice. I want like a mini liner with this, and I'm going to be using the LA Splash Architect Slim eyeliner. This is waterproof, and I've been using this a lot lately, and it stays so good, like incredibly well. And also, I love the tip. It is so easy to apply. I'm just going to show you guys, but like, look how easy this is. I mean, like, that was so easy and like so pretty. Okay, so eyes are pretty much done other than just mascara, so we're gonna move on to face right now, and I'm gonna spray my face with some of this e.l.f. Plus. Oh, it just feels so nice, and I just really like the glow that it gives. I don't feel like it breaks up my makeup or makes anything last less. It just kind of adds like a nice amount of hydration, which I really like. Okay, so for foundation today, I'm going to be using the Ordinary Serum Foundation. I'm going to be mixing it with some of my LA Girl Pro Coverage, and I have it in the shade Fair and the white one, just to kind of get my perfect shade. And I'm just going to be using my Morphe sponge today. I haven't used this guy in a while. I've been obsessed with the Beauty Bakery sponges lately. They've just been working really, really nicely. So I have not used this guy in a while, but I really like this sponge too, and I feel like I was neglecting it, so we're using it. Kind of speaking on like what I said before about my 2018 and just how like college went and everything like that. One of the things that I learned is that when you find a really good support of people, it's a really, really nice thing to have. And for me, that this year, it was really my family. They were kind of the ones that I went to and relied on the most because, like I said, like 5 times already, my friend circle definitely got smaller, which is actually a really good thing. It was really nice because then I found out like who I really trusted and who I really liked, and it kind of got rid of some of the stress that was kind of plaguing me throughout 2017 and going into 2018, and it was really nice to kind of get rid of that. I'm just going to be using some of the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. I've been loving this concealer lately. I find that it's full coverage without being cakey, and I can use it by itself or with foundation, and it just looks so good. I mean, you guys can see, like, it's definitely covering, but it's not like, it doesn't make my face look cakey, and it lasts for so long. Okay, I know this is like totally jumping around, but I just have to fix this because it's bothering me. I feel like I have a very like dark line over here that I'm not enjoying, so I'm going to take some of that white shade that we used and just blend out this crease area right here. Oh, so much better. I don't know why, I was just staring at it while I was blending my concealer, and I was like, I'm not happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to be going in with the LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is in the shade Beautiful Bronze. I know I'm not using the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion. Just felt like I needed to change it up because I've been speaking on that so much and I've been using it so much that I was like, okay, time to like change it up a little bit. And this is slightly dark for me right now. A little bit darker than I would like to use, but I don't really feel like using the cool tone shade that I have. The other one I have is just a little bit too orangey for what I want right now. So we're just going to kind of really blend this out and make it work. So how do you guys feel about change? Because I feel like I'm someone who doesn't actually deal with change very well. And I think that's why this year was so hard for me. I think that's why 2018 was so difficult, is because there was so much change. And I have a hard time with that. I really like having routines. I don't like having to transition to new things, and this year was basically that. It was the year of transition, really. And like I said, even though I don't like that, I think it helped. And I'm just kind of wondering your opinions on that. Like, do you feel like change is a good thing? And if so, does it depend on the type of change? Or do you feel like it's always a good thing or always a bad thing? I wouldn't say it's definitely always a bad thing. I definitely think it can be good sometimes. And sometimes what I think, and that's kind of what I've learned for this year, is that you don't realize it usually at the time that it's a good thing. You don't realize it until after, when you've gone through it and you're like, okay, yeah, that was actually exactly what I needed. I just didn't know it at the time. Everything happens for a reason, and change is one of those things that it doesn't always make us a better person per se, but it makes us a more experienced person and a stronger person. By the way, I'm just using some of this Wet n Wild Hello Halo liquid highlighter. This is in the shade Gilded Glow. So my question to you guys is, change. What's your opinion on it? And if so, how do you deal with it? I feel as though I don't necessarily foresee myself having too many major changes coming up. But at the same time, there's definitely going to be curves, and there's definitely going to be transitions and changes. And I like to call things transitions as opposed to like change or like something like that, because I feel like a transition is just like you're moving from one part to the next, as opposed to change feels like everything's different. Whereas transition's more like, okay, we were here, now we're here. Things are different, but at the same time, it's still your life. You're still moving through it. You're just transitioning. I don't know, I just feel like when I say it like that, it sounds a lot nicer as opposed to change. Okay, so speaking of change, I'm not going to be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer or the Morphe Bronzer. Oh my god! I'm going to be trying out the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer, and this is in the shade Forever Sunkissed. I've only used this once, I think. Yeah, like once or twice, and they were more on lighter makeup days, so I want to see how it looks when I have a little bit of like foundation on and stuff like that. And just see, it seems like it's going to be really nice. It's very creamy and it doesn't seem like it's too pigmented. So have you guys ever heard of picking a word for your year? Basically, it's exactly what it sounds. You figure out what you want for the year, kind of what your goal is for the year, I suppose, like your overall goal, and then you choose a word that reflects that. Did I even make one last year? I don't remember, but I definitely want to do it this year. My mom always chooses a word of the year, and it's something that I want to do, and I need a good word that has to do with like flow. I don't know, I like the word flow. I just feel like you just kind of go with the flow. Flow is definitely, maybe that'll be my word. Flow? I don't know. I want something that's going to describe like just going through life, not being stressed and crazy and insane, just, I don't know, relaxed in a way. Okay, so because I talked about it so much in my last video, I'm going to be going in with the blush from the Natasha Denona Blush and Glow. It's so pretty. I feel like it's like a very, 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 very subtle NARS Orgasm shade. And I like really had to get my brush in there. You definitely have to like scrape almost your brush to get pigment, but once you do, oh, it's so pretty. I just feel like it creates such a nice glow to the cheeks. I posted a picture and tagged this in it, and Natasha Denona liked my post, and I had a mini heart attack. I screenshotted it because Natasha Denona liked my post. You guys, look what I finally got my hands on. This is the Sleek highlighting palette. This thing is intense, let me tell you. It's not to be messed with. And I'm almost a little bit nervous about using it today because I don't want to have like an insane highlight, but we're going to try it. I have this shade right here and this shade right here. I'm going to mix those together, tap it off, just watch. That was me tapping in my brush and then tapping it off. Look at how like, it's insane, you guys. This palette is not a joke. I put off buying it for so long because I didn't want to go for it. It was just, I don't know what was holding me back, but it just wasn't something that I was like, I feel like I need it, even though I thought it looked so pretty on everybody. And then the like intense highlighter phase kind of passed, so I just didn't pick it up. But then it was on sale at Ulta, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to take a little bit of the highlighter from the little duo here just to smooth everything out. I like using this highlighter to smooth things out and just kind of create a like nice blended highlighter look. This is more natural, so it really like melt everything together. Okay, we are almost done and we just have to go in and do the lower lash line. So I'm gonna go in with the Warrior palette by Juvia's again. And I'm not really gonna say which shades I'm using. I'm just kind of gonna use a combination of a little bit of everything in here and just use that to kind of do our lower lash line. Basically all the shades that we use on the lid, I'm just going to use for the lower lash line. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this shade right here, the xoxo shade. That really bright orange that we use, just like very slightly, just to kind of make the lower lash line pop a little bit more too. And then going back into the Warrior palette, I'm going to take a little bit of this dark brown and mix it with a little bit of this gray right here, which I use on the outer corners as well. And just keep that like on the outer corners. I don't want anything too smoky down here. I just want a little bit of color. Okay, and I'm going to go in with some of the Flowers Seal the Deal Long Lasting Setting Spray. Which I have a different sprayer on. If you get this from the store, you'll have this nice long spritz, but my sprayer broke. So we have to go with a substitute sprayer, which is not quite as good, but we deal. And then I'm going to go in with some of the Glow Mist again. Ooh, inner corner highlight, almost forgot that. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go into the Saharan palette again and take this white shade right here and just, oh, okay. That's intense. It's almost kind of has like a bluish reflect. Not quite going for blue. And I'm going to take this shade right here, kind of peachy one, and try to blend that out a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to go in with some mascara and I will be right back to finish up this video. That is it for this video, you guys. This is completely our full face finished. I'm very happy with this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this chit chat get ready with me. I feel like this is one of the most successful chit chat get ready with me I've ever done. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what you thought in the comments below and I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Goodbye. It's delicious.